Bijan, take one, Mark.
How's the framing? We good? I just want my chest to look big for all the ladies back home. The Carter 3 is what got me like into production. I think I was 11 or 12 years old, and you know, like the typical 12-year-old boy stuff, Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, Pokemon, and I played football as well. When I was on the football team, there was like the kids on the team that were like the cool kids at their school. So I was like, what makes them so cool? And I saw them like listening to like rap music, and going into high school, I was like, yeah, I want to be cool. So the Carter 3, I think, had just come out, and I bought the thing a milli first, like the song. I was like, yeah, this is hard. Like, yeah, this is cool. Then Got Money with T-Pain, and then like Lollipop. I remember like Got Money, Lollipop had these like snare breakdowns where they would have like snare fills to like transition into like another part of the beat. And I always felt that like the rhythmic element of that was like super interesting. And I was like, I want to do my own snare breakdowns. Like, it was like such a small thing. I was like, I want to make beats. I was like, I want to do snare breakdowns. So I Googled beat making software. I purchased FL Studio, and I just started like messing around until I figured out like, this is where the clap should go. This is where the kicks go. Like, this is rhythm, this is melody. Like, just kind of chipped away at it for years, and eventually got decent enough to start working with some artists, and yeah, now I'm here. I had been producing for probably 2 years. I went to high school, and then I was in class with another producer named Wonder Girl, who is still a very good friend of mine. But yeah, we met in grade 9. We were in drama class together. And I think at that point I was like, oh, like you do the same thing I do. Like, she was obviously way better than me at that point, still is, but we're not gonna talk about that. And I kind of understood, like, I'm like, okay, so like, you know, she's doing this, like, who else is doing this kind of thing? Like, who else can I learn from? Because she gave me some tips, and she was helping me learn and figure out FL Studio. So I think it was probably at that point where I was like, if I could learn this from her, like, what can I learn from these other people? And then I started like researching and that kind of thing, so. In my opinion, there is a time for like when you have to do things by yourself and figure out what works for you, like personally, because I think that's what really helps you develop your own kind of sound almost, or kind of what you know, how you make beats. But being with other people in a sense of community and interacting with people that are doing the same thing as you helps you learn so much, like so many things that you might have never learned had you not been a part of a community. And it's inspiring to see how they work and to see what they're doing, and to a sense of not only camaraderie but friendly competition, because that's what really drives me at the same time. I had met Metro in Toronto at the Battle of the Beatmakers. He was one of the judges in 2014. Wonder Girl had already won at that point, 2012 or I forget what year. She was mad young. But she was like, yeah, you should sign up, you should go. And I said, all right, like, you know, why not? So I lost in the first round. Shout out Jordan Manswell, he destroyed me. But I networked, and that was the biggest takeaway. So I think I didn't really get much of his information that day. I just kind of said what up to him. And then the next year, I sent him some beats. I said, I don't know if you remember me, but like, you know, this is what I'm working on. And then he was like, yeah, I remember. Like, you know, I like the stuff that you sent me. Like, let's connect. The networking is super important. I think that the competition aspect is completely subjective. For example, like the Bing James beat, probably 10,000 people would say that this is a horrible beat, but Lil Wayne didn't. That's all that matters, right? But I could be at a competition and the whole crowd could say this is horrible, but then that one artist could be like, yeah, like this is fire, and turn it into a dope song. So I don't think the competition aspect is really that important. I think being in the same room as all those people and getting numbers and getting contacts is like incredible. There's very rarely opportunities where you're in the same room as like maybe 100 people that could change your life, and it just takes one person. So grabbing numbers and figuring out what you can do with this information is like huge. So I think that is the most important thing, not so much what the results of a beat battle are. Working with Lil Wayne was definitely one of the things that I wasn't like actively striving for, but knowing that it could happen was a cool thought. Because I feel like a lot of things that have happened for me that I really like have at least progress my career, I wasn't chasing them. They just kind of came to me. I was working and they came to me. So getting the track was definitely, when I heard that they were gonna use the record, I was very excited because it was more of like a full circle moment for me to just be like, okay, this is the guy that, you know, kind of started this journey and now I've done a song with him. So it's still kind of surreal to say it, but yeah, it was definitely a cool moment.